Here's Brody Brazil.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're enjoying this series, 2023 Player Profiles for the Oakland A's. And this time around, we get to discuss what has, pretty much been the backbone of Oakland's rotation for almost 2 years now. Cole Irvin has been quite the story, and I still can't believe how Oakland acquired him. So it's not like you need the full background on Swerve and Irvin, but let's go there with the basics. Opening day, he'll be 29 years old. He comes in with 2 years and 120 days of big league service time. He was acquired by the A's about 2 years ago from Philly for cash considerations. I still think that's nuts. And sometimes you go out on a limb and you say, hey, we'll try you out. He didn't honestly get much of a try in Philly, which we'll break down here in just a second. But the A's saw something. They saw enough. They put him to use. And they've gotten good use out of Cole Irvin. It's just amazing sometimes what you have to give up to get something. All the A's had to do was give up some cash to Philly 2 years ago, and they've been loving and using Cole Irvin ever since. The last 2 seasons for Oakland, he's made 62 starts. I love that, right? So 30 last year and 32, I think, the year before. Guy gets a good volume of work in, knock on wood, and every other superstitious surface that he can get another 30-plus starts in here in 2023. But those 62 starts for the across the last season, 2 seasons with the A's, the prior 2 seasons from that, only 19 games with the Phillies and only 2 starts. So he's really come to Oakland, been put in that role that he probably wants to be in as a starter. Obviously, that's what most pitchers aspire for. Getting the starts, getting a high volume of them, getting opportunity where he was not in Philadelphia. And I go back sometimes and wonder, do the Phillies look at this and regret this internally? Couldn't they have found a use for him somewhere else? I think they could have. They'll never admit that, but come on. I think it's just, for the A's, this is a great way that they came across Cole Irvin. Okay, looking at his 2022 record is what it is, 9-13. I'm going to say a lot of that was run support that he should have gotten, that he didn't. 3.98 ERA, and if I remember this correctly, as he made the last couple starts of the year, his ERA bubbled just above 4, and all of us were saying, man, that's just kind of a stain on the season, and it's no big deal, right? But wouldn't it be great if he could have a couple good starts here at the end and get that ERA back to sub 4, and he did. And if I remember correctly, the last one was really, really a good outing and maybe allowed no runs or 1 run, whatever it was. But to get that ERA back below 4 was awesome. Had a 709 opponent's OPS in 2022. And again, to make 30 starts, to know that you can be counted on, to stay healthy, to do all the right things, to pitch a certain way, to take care of yourself. Shout outs to you, Cole Irvin, because, I know Dave Stewart will always tell us about how many starts he made and how many hundreds of innings he pitched in a season. And in a way, Cole Irvin's kind of a throwback to that. And I'm not blaming any of the younger age pitchers for going through injuries. I get it. It happens. You're exerting yourself. You're being asked to exert yourself so much. But Cole Irvin just seems to know that balance of working hard, working smart, staying in there, and making 30 starts now, 30-plus starts for 2 straight seasons. He led the A's last year in wins and starts and innings pitched, 181 innings, by the way, across his 30 starts, and 128 strikeouts, which, by the way, is not necessarily at all the way he gets outs. In fact, in terms of American League starters, regulars, he's among the lowest in strikeouts per 9 innings, which we'll get into here in just a second. But here's the stat I love on Cole Irvin. And I think he was first in the American League in this in 2021, but he was also really good at it again in 22. Second in the American League at 14.4 pitches per inning. I love that. I love that for the sake of baseball. He's pitching to contact. They're putting balls in play. He's getting outs. He's not having to go through one of those monster 32-pitch innings. He's also somehow seemingly able to avoid that sequence of a hitter who just fouls off 8 straight pitches, right? Because, look, and it does happen, and sometimes hitters are really good, but he stays out of those situations. He is efficient, right? Work hard versus work smart. I'd rather have you work smart, stay in games, go longer in games because you're only throwing 14.4 pitches an inning. We don't talk about this a lot, as we evaluate pitchers, how efficient they are. But man, when you watch Cole Irvin throw, that is definitely one thing to appreciate. A 285 opponent's average in the first time through the order. So that's not great for Cole Irvin. And we talked about Paul Blackburn earlier in this series, like really struggling in first innings. And Cole Irvin's got a little bit of that too. The 285 opponent's average dips down to 232 after that. Second time through the order and beyond, right? Settles in. That's fine. And 285 is what it is. Not the worst thing in the world, but certainly I do like the 232 much better. Okay, let's talk about the ratios. He had the third fewest strikeouts per nine innings in the American League last year, 6.36, which actually doesn't seem that bad, right? I would have thought third fewest would have been like 3 strikeouts a game, but 6.36 per 9 innings pitched for Cole Irvin. Doesn't rely on the strikeout. Again, he pitches to contact. He gets his outs, ground balls, some fly balls. That's great for Cole Irvin. But also this is the flip side of that. 6th fewest walks per 9 inning in the American League, 1.79 free passes per full game that Cole Irvin will throw. So that means, most days when he's throwing 5 or 6, hopefully 7 or 8, he's in the 1 walk category, the none to 1 walk category almost every start. Love that. The efficiency, not walking people. These are the things that, again, this is what's to like about Cole Irvin, and it was on display again in 2022. Okay, so let's move it ahead here to 2023. Does he start opening day? It's a possibility. I don't know how that works. And you've got Paul Blackburn. You got Fuji in there now. I do not know. But you need, I say a sure thing. You need a couple sure things in the A's rotation. They weren't bad last year. They kind of held the team together through certain spans. They did not get run support, which is my final thought here. But you need in this rotation a 30-game starter, no question. And if Cole Irvin can be that dude once again, awesome. That would be fantastic. I hope for him that he can also keep the ERA under 4 again for this season. And he did most of last year. And that's why the win-loss record and the ERA just do not match up. For a lot of A's pitchers, they do not match up because Oakland was not giving a lot of run support last year. So I'm looking at the ERA. He kept it under 4, got it back to it at the very end, but let's keep that as a goal all season long for Cole Irvin. And continue to make the gloves work. This is a younger, up-and-coming A's team. How they hit is one thing, but you hope that defensively they can keep it tight. That was something also that the team struggled with beginning of last year, that they kind of finally improved on and solved a little bit throughout the course of last season. Tightening up defensively. Don't give away free outs. So make the gloves work, continue to do that, and hopefully get some run support. I know this has nothing to do with Cole Irvin's possibility or potential, but it's only going to help him if the bats can help him out in a game where he's throwing well, he's getting you to the 6th with a lead, hopefully, but it's a narrow margin. He pitched in a lot of those narrow margin games last year, but give Cole Irvin some run support in 2023. Can't wait to see the lefty out there. Can't wait to catch up with him at spring training. He's always a good talker, always a good interview, always sees things and spells them out in a way that's favorable to fans. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, thumbs up on it. I'd really appreciate that. And subscribe to this channel. I mean, I've got the rest of this player profile series coming out, and I can't wait for you to see it start to finish. Take care.